All right. Good morning. Welcome to another Toonkind at 12 frames per second. This one is matched set. I'm Kraken, and I'm playing Craigory Danthew.
Hi, and I'm Hex. I'm playing Lucille for a change of pace.
Lucille good. And listen, I think we start this out. Where do you figure? Like in the mansion manor? Yeah, macabre manor.
Yeah, that's probably a good,
I'm
a
on it.
good, yeah.
I think we'll actually, the camera starts in with Lucille, and hey, you're looking for someone, aren't you? You might want to roll perception or investigation on that.
Ah, damn it. Let me get my clicky. Let me get my clicky clack. Where the hell is my dice? That's not the D20. That's not the D20. Where the hell is my D20? Don't make me use dice parser. It's mean to me. There we go. I found it. Dice parser's rude to me, okay?
Yeah, it
My dice
is.
is also rude to me. So that's Bup, bup, bada, bada, bup, bup, bada, bup, bup, bup. That's a six.
Wow.
Yeah, Lucille did not roll great.
No. Incredible.
I
So
know, right? I imagine Kara is playing tricks.
that wouldn't help. Yeah. Uh,
Just Lucille has kind of passively just the town is weird. The house is weird. It's kind of alive. This is weird. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'll figure it out. And is just, yep.
Surely you'll find where you need to be and who you're looking for eventually, right?
Eventually, right? Like,
Or, actually, maybe he'll find you because with a six perception.
yeah.
uh, Craigory basically
Lucille's
gets the drop on you, and there is just from behind. He basically gets right up behind you before
oh my
you
God,
notice a
Craigory.
goddamn thing. She's like, Lucille, Lucille, wow,
Ah, whoa, hey, hi.
hi, there you are. That was
Hi.
actually easier than I thought. Hey, so listen, is now like a good time to talk?
Uh, it can be, yes. I was looking for you, so yes, this is a good time to talk.
Okay, huh? Uh, I don't know what you want to talk about, but come on.
Well, yeah, okay. Do you mind if we walk and talk somewhere? And they kind of gesture around the manor like in a can we go somewhere that's not gonna mess with us a bit?
And Craigory kind of looks up at the ceiling. When the whole place is a being, where do you look?
Mhm.
Just that might depend on if Kara lets me.
I mean, I was thinking just the pier. It's not that far out. And given Kara just heard me say that, we know she will know where we're going. Uh,
Like I said, we can we can try. So
yeah, okay.
they she'll probably let us. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's good. Everything is great. Yeah, let's go. And Craigory's taking Lucille's arm and leading the way.
Okay, okay. All right. Um, I'm gonna have them roll an insight real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we like that number. That is not how you type that, please. It's just this plus this. There we go. That's how you type that.
22. Hey.
Yay, we love to see it.
Uh,
What does she get about this wizard? What is like
no, the reason I'm hesitating is like the word I'm thinking of is it's not. He's not quite manic sort of energy, but there's a bit of an urgency.
hmm
There's an urgency. He's kind of watching the manor and area around them as they move.
Yeah.
Like he's keeping an eye on like is he being allowed to go to a place? And it certainly seems so. Yeah, they exit the manor
hmm
and there is a pure waterfront nearby that they seem to be actually getting shuffled to all right.
Hey, we love to see it.
And Craigory does relax some at realizing, yeah, all right, all right, all right. Kara's facilitating this.
hmm
He seems keyed up, kind of worked up, anxious, but yeah, anxious and urgent.
Yeah. And Lucille is watching him and just kind of like lets him lead until they're a bit out and then eventually just hey Craigory, is everything okay?
Uh, no, actually.
Oh, oh, all right. Uh, what? Um, they kind of they kind of think for a minute for how to word this, and then okay, um, what's bothering you? What what's going on?
Well, you know, and they're getting close to the pier, and Craigory
Yep.
mostly just seemed focused on moving and getting there.
And
But
now they're here.
now they're here, and oh no, this is the hard bit.
hmm
Kind of turns around to face them and is fidgeting with his collar and just goes, "You're a warlock, right? Yeah. Dumb question. You're a warlock. That's
Yes, I am. The look they are giving him is kind of wary. Not like not like, oh God, what are you doing? But what are you getting at?
uh if in theory you were ever looking to break whatever pact, whatever the specifics of pact is with the ocean, how would you go about doing that?
Uh, hey Craiger, you want to roll insight?
Boy, do I. That's a 13.
You know what? That's gonna be enough for you to see Lucille go pale. Uh,
For
why
no like
would
reason in particular, just curious.
I, um, well, I don't think I, Gregory, what brought this on? What's, what,
Just you know, call it a curiosity, which may or may not be relevant.
I um I it's not breaking a pact isn't something you can just do. I,
There's got to be something though.
why is it why does that why is that important? What
I
is
I'm not saying you need to. Like this is not about you at all.
okay, then what is I'm
Uh, all right. Look, just and they're at the shore. Craigory's just going to
Mhm.
turn, point his hand out at the shore where there's nothing, and it's just endless water, and he's going to fire off a spell
Mhm.
Lucille would know instantly because it is Eldritch Blast.
Yep. And Lucille recognizes that, doesn't even need to roll an arcana, just and they kind of gape at him for a moment, just uh um uh that's new.
Yeah, yeah. Very new. It's a whole thing now. I think.
And I need to see if they're gonna just put two and two together real quick, 'cause they could. That's just a straight 10.
Mm.
That's 10 on the dice.
Really 50-50. I
Lucille
think
is,
the other thing is like the thing that may tip it is Lucille would know what Craigory's magic looks like. It's red in
yeah,
color. There's usually
yeah,
blocky pixels going on, and the beam that came out is still red, but there's a few shocks of green that run through it.
yeah. And they would notice that because their passive perception is a fucking 18.
Uh huh.
And so they look at that and then their brow furrows and frowns and they look back at him and Craigory, did you make a pact with that thing?
It turns out, yeah. I didn't realize that's what it was or that's what would happen.
What what do you mean? What?
I mean, I don't know how these things usually go. It wasn't like worded as a I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Okay. I mean, usually there's an agreement made, there's an understanding, a I mean, usually an exchange of some kind. I
I don't know. Is there any kind of like I mean, very technically say that. I don't know. Is there lawyers that work in this? I can I sue the thrall?
no, I mean maybe
Because I
th
feel like I was put into this under some false pretenses. Honestly,
that I mean there's a reason that a lot of warlock packs or a lot of warlocks come with some preconceived notions, and that is usually sometimes a lot of their patrons can have ulterior motives or fine print, which seems par the course for that thing. Okay. I um
I mean, any advice you've got, honestly, because if I can't break it immediately or now or ever, I don't know, tips
uh,
on how to
um
not. Well, actually,
that's
maybe you're the wrong person because
what is what does that mean?
I mean, maybe it's not the best idea to ask a warlock how to not be a warlock,
It
both mechanically and maybe kind of offensively. But you're also the only person I know who is one in any real depth.
it it's it's a lot of okay, I am well, all of us, and they kind of make a gesture out at the pier, like towards the sea. Uh, we are kind of unique in a way. Um, as far as I'm aware, I've never not been of the sea. Um, and others have, there wasn't really an exchange. There was a call and they answered it. And it wasn't, bespelling or a siren song. It just was a call and it felt right. Uh, which I mean, I guess in the grand scheme of things would make sense because I mean, they just gesture. It's the ocean. Like, what does it care if it has warlocks? It just is. Uh, yeah. And it's pretty easy to kind of get overwhelmed by that. So I might be able to offer at least a little advice in that regard. Uh, because it's so when you as a wizard have to like study or like I don't know how wizards do their magic
I mean,
stuff.
it's earned. You study and you learn it versus I may have instinctually shot the Eldritch Blast at Asclepius. Don't worry about it. But like I
Uh,
didn't have to read or
mm,
get any sort of instruction from him to do that. It just came like instinctively.
naturally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing with this kind of magic and it's easy. Um not in the sense of it's simple. It's easy in that it creeps in and it when you are not thinking or just working on instinct, it wants to become that instinct. You have to make the conscious effort to not, you have to work to not use it. And it's not easy. It's not easy, Craigory. Uh it and the more you use it, the easier it comes. It's it creeps in. It uh
Okay. Craigory has kind of sat down
yeah.
at this point to take it in. I mean, it's already sounding similar to what Lynn is essentially worried about anyway, just due to her experiences overall, worried about changes that might happen. So I'm already kind of on the lookout for that.
Okay, that's good.
So I just keep on doing wizard shit. That's fine. That's what I know. It's like
Yeah,
I'm a wizard.
yes, you are. It's you got to be careful, Danthew. I'm not kidding about it being easy. It really is. It'll creep up. It's a you got you you're gonna have to figure out and they gesture kind of like trying to find the right words. You're gonna have to figure out what's you and not you. Uh
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Already grappling with that. There's
oh,
been some incidents.
Lucille does not look happy at that. Are you okay?
Physically, great, great, great. Physically, it's me, it's my body, and it's working mostly good. I mean, kind of looks at the kit of artificery, which is acting as his one hand, and he actually kind of makes a face and goes to fiddle with it.
Mm-hmm.
I, okay, yeah, this thing isn't doing so hot. Actually, I don't think Henrik figured out how to. I mean, I need to go to Azure anyway for an upgrade. Anyway, oh god, yeah. It smells like there's something melted in there. But
Lucille makes a face, just
I'm not convinced they ever turned it off, which is not great. And even thinking on that, he, yeah, turns it off. So I've mostly been leaving this thing off because I'm not cracking it open. I own some there. I could have Boomer look at it, but then that'd be opening up the way for modifications. And I mean, yeah, one day, but Azur's the mechanic right now.
Lucille does kind of make like a genuine little smile at that. Just yeah, might want to get the 2.0 before you let your kid kind of poke in there, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, she's already been excited to try for sure, but it's also new and mine. So, uh,
Yeah.
but one day, who needs Eldritch Blast when she'll probably just put a gun in there or something?
I, I mean, in terms of warlock magic, I guess I'm kind of the worst person to ask there. I mean, and they just kind of wave a hand and clunk, then there's an anchor. Like, I don't do a lot of casting, so,
You are very good at hitting.
it's, listen, it's one of the few things I've got.
That
Uh,
okay? That's not entirely true. There's a lot. Come on.
listen, it's, I know what I'm about. I've lived long enough, I know what I'm about. And another wave and it vanishes. And they sit next to him finally. Uh, they'd been kind of like squatting almost or like kneeling, and now they're actually properly sitting next to him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how can I ask you something now?
Uh,
If that's okay, or
I
do
mean,
you
yeah,
still?
totally, totally fair. I kind of sprung this on you. It's been an eventful. Yesterday was a lot happened yesterday.
Yeah, yeah, it did. And I am happy to help in any way I can. I mean, I'm good at drowning out the other. Uh, that was a poor choice of words, but you get what I mean. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm really good at that. So I can probably give you some tips there. Um, and I just I wanted to make sure that you are doing okay. I mean, you know, I know that's a dumb question, but I are how are you feeling?
Uh, well, you're right on one thing. Can't really pull the wood on anyone. Pull the wool on anyone here because they. I'm doing, I think, as good as I can be under the circumstances. I kind of had the night to sleep on the whole warlock thing, and nothing happened during the night. Lynn confirmed, so that's good.
And they nod. Yeah, that's good. I don't think that thing can be well, I was gonna say I don't think that it's got a strong enough bond link, we'll go with link to you yet to kind of do that. Uh
Lucille,
and
I threw magic at the town leaders yesterday because I,
it's you said it was like a an impulse.
yeah,
Um
not
and
not
that's
not like in words, but feeling like Lucy, I was under constant geas for a month. I don't know if like that might just be speeding things up here. I don't know.
it
Like I'm not under it anymore, and people still say things. And before,
I know. I know. It takes a while for that to wear off. It'll get better. Uh
Craiger's gonna roll insight on that statement.
yeah.
Oh, good job, buddy.
Oh.
18.
Oh yeah. Okay. Craigory, yeah, Lucille says that, and they genuine like there is not only do they genuinely believe that statement, they they get it. They understand completely. Like, yeah,
And he looks at them sharply, like, and you know that?
yeah, uh, yeah, I do. I
I'm sorry that you do.
it's
Whatever happened there for you.
Is he asking or just
Uh, not directly.
okay?
Doesn't know if Lucille would
Lucille
want
just
to
kind
talk
of
about it.
understandable. Lucille kind of gives him a sideways glance, just like I. It was a while ago. Uh, I guess by most people's standards. Um,
Not
but
long ago by your standards, or
yeah. Craigory, first off, how old do you think I am?
uh, kind of leans back to look Lucille over.
And they
Uh,
look about his age,
yeah,
so
but he's kind of like clearly thinking about it and squinting because Lucille's kind of not outright said, but given the impression last time they met, especially that she's been around the block a while,
mm-hmm.
but they look about his age. And they don't act much older than him. Age with Toons is always weird. Uh,
It is.
I mean, are we talking about how long you've existed or how old you feel?
Well, that at least is you're the first person to actually clarify that. Existed, we'll say.
Mm, like 75 years? A
No,
century? Am I
no,
am I like am I hot or cold?
cold,
Uh 150.
cold.
300?
Getting a little warmer, yeah.
Huh. Okay. 500.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's give or take. Like I said, the ocean doesn't care about uh a lot of things. And early on, a lot of it was kind of a haze of well, nothing until I learned to separate from it. Um, but that's anyway. It it was around the last erasure, I think. They clearly are thinking like that. That sounds right. It was a haze, but I uh spent some time in captivity, and they used Geas and a few other things to keep me under control. So yeah, I when I got out, it was a long period of learning to not immediately follow whenever anyone said something, or wait for someone to tell me something, or just to do anything, really.
No insight needed on this. Craigory just looks gutted and yeah, leans over to one armed hug.
Yeah. Lucille kind of leans against him and wraps their arm around him, like returns the hug. Just so, yeah, I get it. Um, and that's kind of why I wanted to make sure you were okay, because it's a lot of things can be taken um, as orders and as uh and it's it's kind of scary.
Yeah, but
Um,
it's not anyone's fault. It's just how people talk. People don't realize that something can be taken as an absolute.
I know that, and you know that, but
It's not their fault. I'm not gonna force everyone to police their words around me just because of that. And then the longer I'm on, the more exposed to it. Like then I get used to it, and it doesn't matter anymore.
right. I yes, but it's still gonna take time, and it's easy to and there's a frown and they're kind of thinking, I don't there's a bit of time difference here, so uh I can't speak for how long you were there under, but it's it's easy to it's not easy. It sucks. It sucks. It's it's scary, okay? It's scary to get out and then have total freedom again when you have nothing, when you had nothing, and suddenly not having a routine or those that driving force, and your mind's just wants to latch on to the first thing that sounds like it'll help you get back to that, even though you don't want to get back to that. Uh,
Craigory has looked away, not quite completely hiding his face, but it seems like that might be striking kind of uncomfortably close to, you
yeah,
know, Lucille is speaking truths.
yeah. And they kind of after a moment, it's I'm not saying that you need to ask people to police. I'm not saying that you need to exposure therapy. I'm not
Well, I mean,
I
yeah, isn't that the fastest way? Just, you know,
it
if everything just goes back to normal, then I get used to it faster and things are fine.
but it can also hurt you a lot more than you realize.
I can I can take whatever needs to happen for things to get back to normal. I just want
It,
everything
but
to calm down and go back to normal.
it
Like
uh,
I'm not weak. I can take it.
that's I'm not calling you weak. I'm saying that what you went through was horrific and terrifying, and that that does it it scars you, okay? And not just physically, and you can't you gotta deal with like you need to you can't just ignore that. You can't just brute force it back. You gotta I
Well, that's kind of the thing, isn't it? Didn't really leave physical scars for the most part. Like if I mean, kind of spreads his arms out a bit like I people didn't know any better. It'd be like nothing had changed. Isn't that better?
but you know. And from their tone, no insight needed. They also know. You know it happened, though.
Yeah, and the details are for me, only for me. No one, no one else needs full scoop on that. That's no.
You sure? You sure about that?
I think at this point I'm going to roll a perception for Craigory.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you want to roll a perception?
Yeah, yeah. Christ.
Uh-oh. What'd the boy roll? Oh no, Craigory.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, there is a +1 now, so it's a 5.
It's a 5. That's your
He's
good friend
not
Lucille.
focused super much on Lucille.
That's understandable, honestly, yeah. It it's still they're still scars, even if they aren't here.
I left those behind, mostly.
Not only the physical ones. And they rub a hand on their arm. Uh, those aren't the only kind of scars, though, Craigory. And I feel like you know that.
He sighs because he does. Yeah, yeah, he knows that. But fuck, I'm giving him another perception because Lucille drew attention to the arm.
Yep.
Come on, my boy. It's better.
Yeah, okay.
Have a
Hey, you know
13.
what? Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, Craigory, Lucille's got a lot of scars. Lucille is covered in them.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many. There are scars on scars. Um, you notice a couple though, because now you know what they look like. Uh, on the back of their hand, and then a little bit up on the forearm, and then a little bit up on the bicep, and there's one on the inner arm. They're very neat. They're suture scars in the same places that yours were.
And Craigory
And look,
visibly freezes.
yep, and he sees those, and then he starts to notice more down their legs. And if he uh looked at like well no, he wouldn't be able to see that at that angle. So, but yeah, just he sees a lot of suture scars on this shark.
Once he's realized there's one and knows what to look for, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
How long were you? Whatever happened? Like, how long?
Um, I don't know, honestly. They kind of kept me drugged for most of it. Uh, made it easier to handle even with the geas. But I know that everything, it was at least a year. I was, I was some rich noble's pet. Uh, and
Pets don't get those.
yeah, uh, that's the other bit. I was also in Faruma, and Turns out, something like me is kind of an oddity. And they wanted to know more about me. And then they wanted to know what they could do with bits of me.
Like spell components? But
Yeah.
you could roll insight on this, Lucille.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Ooh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah, 16.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a two warring minds on this because on one hand, the wizard that is
Mm-hmm.
Craigory is going, well, okay, wait, let's think about that. Spell components from a Shalky sea creature, huh? He's thinking through like stuff he would try, being kind of horrified that he immediately went to thinking about this,
Mm-hmm.
and also uh, is having a whole other side crisis of, oh geez, is that like spell components come from magical creatures and in Lucille's case a person. Would any of that even worked? He doesn't know. Would any like he's got some bad feelings about stuff that he
Mm-hmm.
hadn't even thought of and he doesn't know if it applies, but the thought
The thought ain't great. Yeah.
the thought ain't great.
Yeah. Yeah. They kind of they see this conflict and to Lucille's credit, they don't get angry. They don't get upset. They just I I know uh I know what it's I know, okay. You don't you don't need to talk about it or anything. I get it.
I wish you didn't
Yeah.
get it.
I wish you didn't either. Nobody deserves that.
And he kind of just ends up leaning against Lucille's side.
Yeah. They they drape an arm around him. It's and then they kind of think a moment. It would because they're thinking back to what he had said
Mm-hmm.
that the scars didn't follow him. Would you feel hypothetically, would you feel less off if the scars did follow you?
I mean, it How do you mean?
Do you have a marker?
I mean, yeah, somewhere. Any will root around in hammer space.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Yeah, 5.
Okay, I was gonna say, please don't let us have bees again.
Release the bee.
Release the bees.
No, no bees this time. It's a 5, so just, big black marker.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Well, and they kind of hold their hand out for both marker and arm. May I?
Uh, sure.
Pop the
Holds
cap
out
off.
left arm.
Yep. Yep. Pop the cap off and they it's probably a little unnerving how close they get. Like they don't get it exact because of course they don't. But they draw just a little line across the back of his hand. And they might give it a couple dots for suture, but they just where was another one?
Uh, Here, I think. Points to a spot further up the
Hmm.
arm.
Yep. And they draw
Draws it
another
out.
line. Yep. It's not permanent, which good, but it's a thought, you know? Help, I guess, help you transition back to normalcy.
Kind of makes it all more real, huh?
That's, yeah, that's kind of the idea. Uh, it,
I mean, I didn't even get the chance to be used to anything being there. Um, I don't know how yours went, but this was quick.
yeah,
Like honestly, most of the month was it can be boring as hell.
mm-hmm,
Just standing guard, you know, I guess looking intimidating behind their shoulder as they read fortunes for like a couple gold pieces or something a little weirder sometimes. Sorting stuff. Actually, that no, that was kind of interesting. They would get all sorts of stuff shipped in that like you would never see usually ever.
mm-hmm.
Like most of it put that way was kind of fine outside of the whole, not being able to believe in how I got there, but
Eh,
things were kind of all right.
it was boring.
Yeah, at points it was very boring.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right, yeah.
And things were mostly good or, settling into general monotony, like, knowing what was up until I did end up pissing them off worse than other times with a little bit of fire, controlled fire. And then people showed up, and that seemed like the cue.
Lucille kind of has this like dawning horror realization. All of that after everyone showed up?
Yeah, you know,
Christ.
when Pip and Foo came, they left, and they knew they didn't have much time. So it's like
They,
pure efficiency, right? Keep me useful for the time until they
yeah,
knew it was coming to an end.
yeah. Uh, wow. Yeah. Wow. Wow. That Lucille is just wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That, I guess that makes my suggestion all the more, well, that just kind of, I think it would help. And yeah, they kind of offer the marker back to Craigory. Like, yeah, I think it would help.
I mean, so long I don't want anyone else to see. Like no one else needs to
No, yeah.
know the
Um,
full thing. Like this no, not Lynn, not Pip. This would upset them.
then Lucille kind of nods, like, okay, okay. Um, I guess I mean, you can just, and they do that like parental like lick the thumb and then like scrub at his scrub at his arm. Like comes off easy. So
I mean, I was just gonna like jump in the water. Gestures at the coast they're at.
you uh, I mean, yes, and I could throw you in, but I just figured didn't seem appropriate. Tone, you know.
Didn't have a problem picking me up and carrying me places before.
Yeah, and I won't have a problem in the future either. But right now, I want you to be feel safe and get, all of the programming out of your head.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Or
Yeah.
stop any new stuff from coming in, I guess.
Yeah. So I figured I'd dial back. That doesn't seem like the right. That's not the right word, but I think you get what I mean.
I mean, still say just keep things as normal as possible. So, I mean,
D-
getting used to things.
Yes,
It was
but
only for a
also
month. Like, this wasn't.
that doesn't matter. A month is still a month. It still
You
happened.
know that's tiny. You're
That
my.
doesn't matter. Like, downtime didn't help anything. It still happens, and it still happened to you, and it still matters. This isn't a competition, Craigory.
No, I'm not trying to make it a competition. I'm just saying that things should go back to normal quickly.
It trying to force it can trying to force it can hurt more than anything right now. You need to you gotta you don't need to talk about it with everybody. You don't need to talk about everything with everyone. But
Lord, no, if it was up to me, no one would know.
that's kind of what I was getting at. You you need to talk about this. I didn't have anybody when I got out, okay? It was just me. And you'd think after, months of being out, first time I finally went back to talk to people, I'd be okay. And I wasn't. So, uh, look, I'm just saying you've got friends and family that you can lean on right now. And you should. It's okay to. They, we want to help you. And it'd be nice if you let us.
Craigory has to take a moment just to lean back, breathe, and accept that because A, he knows Lucille is right. B, he has said similar things before to Lynn,
Mm-hmm.
and Craigory would like to not be a hypocrite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard. I know it is. But I mean, well, I hmm. And they kind of struggle with words. They're kind of like fiddling with a bunch of their bracelets, like,
I mean, if whatever it is hard to say, you don't have to. This is kind
yeah,
of hitting. Well, this is close to home for you. This.
yeah. It in a lot of ways, it's kind of like looking in a mirror when I saw you. Uh, Not in a good way. And one
Yeah.
hand kind of rubs at their neck. Uh,
The that too.
yeah, yeah, that they pull the neck of their shirt down. And there's just like it's not bad. It's healed, but there's clearly like minor scarring. Very, very minor. Yeah. Yeah.
God. Yeah, that. And Craigory's kind of fiddling at the. His collar's always kind of been messy disarray. That's just kind of an
Yeah.
aspect of the design, but
Yeah.
it's just like been purposely turned up all the way basically since he got to Halloween Town.
Hmm.
Did I mean uh I don't know, the necklaces and stuff, long hairs that did you ever I don't miss it, but it's fingers kind of twitch.
It's
I fiddle it's like it's missing. It's
the
I'd
weight
mess
is
with it a lot
yeah.
because it was bad, and now that it's gone, that's also bad.
Yeah, that's why. And they kind of tug the shirt back up. I Yeah, a lot of these are and they shake their arms. A lot of these are for that reason. Helps helps, you feel you need something there. Why not make it something your own?
Okay, uh, so it's not just me. I'm this is normal.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Okay. All right. Craig is actually going to roll another hammer space. Yeah, 7.
Mm-hmm.
He has to think about it. He's got his hand fishing up his sleeve, is reaching for something even while he's trying to think of what he could take out, but
Yeah.
settles, eventually pulls out a bright red bandana. Just ties it loosely around the neck. Just sitting there.
Yep.
Kind of looks like Pip, even.
Hmm. Lucille actually kind of looks at him and just, you look like Pip.
Huh, you think? Strikes a bit of a pose.
You're a bit too tall, though.
Nah,
Might
they
need
can grow.
might need to pierce your ears.
I mean, maybe I. You know, maybe, maybe. He seems to be genuinely thinking about it now that it's been suggested. I mean, you're talking about sort of, I don't know what you call it, integrating the two experiences in one body. Like, maybe that
It's
helped. I've been feeling itchy. So
it's
maybe this helps.
it's taking all of that and turning it into, you know, something that's yours, or at the very least, not theirs. And after a moment, Lucille fiddles with a bunch of their bracelets and then slides one off, offers it to him.
You sure?
Of course.
Immediately slides that onto his wrist. I would really love to be something that's completely mine for once in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw Henrik. I don't want to look like them anymore.
I completely understand. Maybe, you know, maybe it's time for a change.
Yeah, I think so. I've never really had a drastic designer wardrobe change.
No, you
Think I
haven't.
kind of
You look,
understand why now, but this is a good start.
it'll, I think it'll help you.
Yeah, yeah. There's a won't be able to get rid of everything, but
You don't have to get rid of everything.
I mean, I
Just
he seems to be thinking and trying to make a decision.
Seal's waiting patiently, like they aren't,
I won't be able to change everything, and not everything actually got left behind. And yeah, he will actually untuck that corner of the shirt and just
Yep. Lucille sees that and
big ol'
just,
eye staring out from the hip, black and green,
yep.
burnt in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the warlock thing going on. That
Ugh. Okay. Yeah. Uh, I I don't know about breaking packs because I mean, quite frankly, I don't want to break mine. They kind of gesture at all of them like, you know. Um, but I know how to keep yourself separate. from it, and I can give you tips.
Please.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thanks for listening and sharing and reliving.
It's it happened a long time ago, and I ain't gonna lie, like, and say that, I'm okay now, because I mean, but I can help, and I have an idea, I guess, of how to help. So I wanna, you're uh again, kind of awkward. You're important to me, Gregory.
Aw. Yeah, you're important too. You came. I
You
wasn't even
called.
sure it would work or you would.
You called. Of course I would. Took a bit. I mean,
I
I was
wasn't sure
in.
anything was getting out there. I mean, it's one thing to tell me, hey, if you ever need me, throw some blood in the ocean. It's another when I know you're almost certainly nowhere nearby, and it was probably just getting immediately dashed up on the rocks anyway. It was less of a concrete plan
It.
doing that, you know, once every few days or whatever, and more of a something to do. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't even know if you got anything until I got uh, desperate and threw a whole bunch
I
out.
I did. Uh and again, they kind of glance out at the sea. It if I weren't, a warlock, I probably wouldn't have. But I don't know. Ocean knows. Ocean knows what I care about. Make sure that I can go where I'm needed.
Guess it also, in a way, made sure you met up with the others.
Yeah.
I mean, part of what I say when I say it wasn't a concrete plan, I don't know what you could have done if you showed up alone.
I could have hit him with an anchor.
Yeah, and what after when they get up?
I don't know. Figure that out when we got there. They're trying to be lighthearted.
And Craigory's given a lot of thought about that scenario, and oh no, but yeah, he won't push it.
hmm
Just keep on hitting them.
Yeah.
Rule of funny.
Yeah. They were what, like 3 feet tall? Pretty sure my anchor's bigger.
Oh yeah, plenty bigger, plenty
Like,
heavier. Like, listen, 4.5 feet, they were light. I could, I was able to punch the living daylights out of it. It happened once, but I did it. It was squishy.
gross.
Yeah, really gross. Ugh.
But also nice.
Kind of shakes out the hand. Yeah, there was a give. It was bad.
What are they then?
I mean, I don't know what you'd call them now, but they were a changeling.
Huh. Huh. Maybe that's why it's squishy.
I mean, are you saying changelings are squishy? Are they made of clay?
I mean, maybe?
I don't know. I'm
Have you met a changeling before that wasn't them?
uh no, but I'm also thinking that neutral state eldritch horror isn't the norm.
That There's a lot to unpack there. Okay.
Yeah, I saw under the hood once. Don't clearly remember it. Took some psychic damage.
Ah, okay.
Eyes, teeth, tentacles.
Lucille kind of makes a face. You're describing the abyss.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it was kind of like looking into an abyss. Listen, I punched that. It was bad. It felt bad. Ooh.
But also you punched it.
I did. It was very good. And Fu apparently threw acid in that face, so who's the real winners here?
Exactly. Exactly. They listen, they might have made a pact with you, but now they are stuck with you. Unless, well, until until we figure out how to break it. But
I mean, wait, hold on. Okay, are you saying like a connection goes both ways? Like I don't know how
well,
talkative or whatever
yes.
influencing. Wait, hold. I can send stuff back.
Craigory, what did I just say? The ocean knows when I tell things to people because I'm talking like I can
I thought it
I
was
can
like a
talk with
one
it.
way thing.
How do you think that how do you think warlocks talk to their patrons?
I didn't think. What? Huh? Huh.
It's not like blind faith obedience. I mean, it is kind of
I
blind
mean,
faith
that's how it
obedience
was. Are you
depending.
saying? Oh, are you saying Ron Moore? Oh, I gotta try something immediately. And Gregory's gonna sit there and he's gonna think, hmm, hmm. What does he want to try to annoy Thrall with? He's going to think very hard. How is he going to do this? He's going to put a hand on the brand, just for added concentration. He's going to try thinking through it very hard. Just sort of the
Uh-huh.
sensation of knocking, like, hey, hey.
Um he he gets the distinct impression that he's being observed now, I guess. And like surprised curiosity.
Gregory sends through the thought emotional equivalent of bitch.
Gets zapped.
Ow! Kind of jumps in place and just shakes it to oh, oh, okay, worth it. Ow, but worth it.
You you okay?
Yeah, they've got kind of a system built in for, hey, you suck, don't do that. But
You might want to be careful with that, but yeah, all right.
oh, I am going to be so fucking annoying. Yes, yes. And Gregory's kind of standing up and he just looks excited.
Lucille just Lucille's laughing. Don't get too ahead of yourself, but hey, all right.
It's something.
It is something.
Equivalent exchange, Peckneck.
Hmm. That's kind of the whole point. It's usually in favor of the patron, but it does go both ways.
Yeah, versus one way only before. This, I can't believe I'm saying this. This is an improvement.
Aren't you glad you came to the Warlock now?
Yes, very. Thank you.
Anytime.
Thank you for everything about that and anything in the future. Just you don't need to stick around, but it's appreciated.
Listen, I might go off for a bit because, I mean, I've got people I need to check on other places, but I don't know. I'll always come back here.
Mm.
Well, I'll come back to you.
And hey, now I know if I really need you, just need to be near open water.
Yeah, like I said, I'll come. It might take a bit, but I'll get there.
Mm. Thank you.
Yeah. And he's still standing, but they still kind of loop an arm around him.
Yeah,
It's more like a leg, but you
yeah.
know.
And he'll just kind of lean against them.
Yeah.
There's probably a
Hmm.
nice sunset going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay, Lucille caves into temptation.
Mm.
Shoves him into the water.
Yes!
There's a moment pause and then just, hey, Danthew, think fast. Shove.
Okay, but can I roll for him to think fast?
Yes.
What do you figure that
Yes.
is? Strength? Dex?
Dex.
Dex. Well, that's a 10.
Yeah. That's perfectly average.
He, tries to reach around and grab Lucille to pull them in after him. But I'm thinking they're pretty firmly seated, and he got a hearty shove.
He got a hearty shove,
There,
but
an
that
attempt
doesn't.
was made.
An attempt was made, and sploosh, and then
Sploosh.
a moment later, second sploosh.
Curry's just head breaks sweater. Oh, you. Where'd you go? Realizes Lucille is no longer there and just goes, uh oh. Dun dun
Yep.
dun
He sees the fin surface for a second before diving back down.
dun 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 dun.
Then he's yanked under for a second.
Well, he rolled a 2 for strength in terms of just like, grapple. So,
No, he's in Lucille's home turf. There is no beating the shark. God.
playtime.
Yep. Lucille is now wrestling with him.
It's all good fun. This is, no other memories to be associated with here. This is just fun in the water.
Yeah, exactly.
And as usual, Lucille is extremely handily winning.
That's usually how it works, yes.
Between strength and water, yeah, no.
Pick him up, yeet him across the water for a minute.
Mock offended shriek as he arcs through the air and splashes back in.
Yep.
Uh, I don't know if you have anything else. Do you figure we just leave
Yeah,
them
I think
having play fight
having.
on the shore?
Yep. They come up onto the beach and it's just immediate wrestling in like the surf.
Uh, good times, good shit.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Hex,
Yes,
for
thank
that.
you.
Boy, oh boy. And with that, I think it's time to end my recording. Thanks for listening,
Yeah.
everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye now.